Alright guys, so I just got done with a gig. I packed up, obviously changed and everything, and just wanted to give my thoughts on that because I didn't really get a chance to while I was actually inside playing. But basically, I got called for this gig a couple weeks ago, and it was a very, very, short gig, very kind of nonchalant, and it was really just supposed to be background music for a corporate event that is, I guess have some, high roller investors and stuff like that. I got called to just play in the background and kind of like, keep everything going, etc. And it's here, I'm gonna turn on the light so you can see me. So basically that's all they wanted, and I guess someone else was asked before me to do the gig who was a keyboardist, and they asked for pieces of music, like, do you have any pieces of music for me to look at before I play? And the person hosting the gig said, no, I just wanted you to maybe come in and do some improv stuff. And apparently the other person said that they don't do improv. So then he proceeded to ask me to do the gig, and I asked him, do I need to prepare anything? And he said, no, just if you want to just come in with any kind of improv stuff. And I said, perfect, because I don't have any mental capacity right now to prepare anything for a 2-week in advance gig that is only supposed to be a 30-minute thing. So literally today I showed up to the gig with no premeditation and no set list of anything I was going to play. The only thing that I did was literally write down a few different chord progressions that I could do, like 2-6-5-1, a 1-2-6-5-1, etc., just as kind of like a reminder of just like what I could play if I somehow ran out of ideas, and improv everything like on the fly. So literally everything that you are about to hear in this video, literally I made it all up on the spot, like no premeditation at all. So right now I just have the looper going because I kind of am like transitioning into getting ready to actually perform here, and I just want a little background noise. But this is the setup for today. I'll just show you. It's kind of a last minute setup here. I got the Tone X, and it's on the Fender Twin setting, just kind of a little custom thing I got with a little reverb coming out of it. And then literally just my Ditto looper here. Literally that's my set list, just these chord progressions. I have diatonic 1-2-6-5, minor 1, flat 6, flat 7, back to 1, and pretty much variations of all this. That's literally it for the night. So here we go. it. I feel like it's like if nobody notices what you're playing.
Yeah, that's good.
That's perfect. Yeah, you did a good job. If people start like thinking like,
Yeah.
wow, that's a weird thing you're playing.
No, it's perfect. It's like, I like that blues stuff you were doing. That like.
Oh, thanks. I thought maybe it was like too much for the room. I was like, oh,
No,
maybe I shouldn't be doing this in the background, like all these weird,
No, dude, it was perfect.
soulful things.
Yeah.
Like you just want to hear my flat
No.
jazz arpeggios. Well, that's cool, man. Yeah, that looper did good. Now I'm gonna go ahead and return this to Sweetwater. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah, no.
So I realize, guys, that this is, you know, it is a skill to be able to improv. It's weird to say, but you do have to practice how to improv. So, and you know, for me at this point, it's been just many years of, you know, practicing improv, because that's something that is important to me, just as much as reading music or charts or anything like that. So, this is probably like one of the lowest stress gigs I've done in my life, actually. And I got paid $100 to literally show up for 30 minutes in improv. That is good money. Really, I can't argue with that at all. I think I showed up to the gig about an hour and a half early just to get set up and change. Then I played for literally like a half hour, maybe 45 minutes at the max, and walked out with $100 check in my pocket just from that today. And that's not even including the fact that I was teaching earlier today. So this was a good day, you know, and there was no other people I had to keep track of on the gig. I didn't have to keep track of a band or any band members or anything like that, deal with the egos or antics involved in that. Literally just me, the Ditto looper pedal, and the Tone X, and everything off the dome right here. Probably the lowest stress gig I've ever done, or at least one of them. And I encourage, you know, if you yourself are good at improv or want to get into improv, or even if you're like good at voice leading stuff and solo guitar work, and, you know, in the jazz realm or stuff of the essence, that you should definitely get into solo gigs, because obviously the money's good and it's very low stress, and, you know, it's fun. Honestly, I had fun on this gig. This is like, I feel like it's hard to say that now, because I've done so much touring in the past that wasn't fun, and it was very stressful and high strung for music that wasn't even like high strung music. And this was like, literally, I just didn't stress the whole time, you know, because in a sense, it's kind of like all on you, right? And it's like, because of that, you know, you having kind of control of everything, I feel like that's actually easier. But yeah, so basically what I want to mention is, if you want to learn how to improv like what you just heard and be able to do this kind of stuff, I think I am going to make a course for it, so you can kind of wrap your mind around, you know, understanding the guitar linearly, like how I'm viewing it, to be able to do these kinds of chord progressions on the fly, and like the walking bass stuff that you heard. All of that is improv. So I think I'm going to design a course on that, because I feel like it's way too much to explain in a couple of YouTube videos, honestly. So leave a comment below if you think that that's something that you personally might be interested in, and I will start working on that for all of you that might be interested in that kind of thing in the future. And obviously, I'm going to make a shameless plug, and that's subscribe to my monthly newsletter. It's in the link in the description below. And, you know, with that, you get, you know, a free written guitar lesson from me every month, as well as the access to all my tabs that are in a Google Drive from every video that I've made, you know, every lesson video that I've made on my YouTube channel. So definitely check that out. All you got to do is click the link in the description and then type in your email address, and I'll send you all that stuff. And then you'll have my email, so you can actually email me as well if you have any questions about anything. But yeah, guys, improv is one of my favorite things ever to do. I love it. I think it's one of the best things you can make yourself do as a musician, and really expand your musical abilities that way. I think everything is important. I just want to preface this. When it comes to music, there's not one thing that's better than another thing, in my opinion. I think reading sheet music is amazing. I think being able to improv is amazing. I think being able to read charts and know your chord cadences and progressions is an amazing skill to have. You know, being able to transpose stuff in different keys with those numbered chord progressions is also a great skill to have. I think all of it is a necessary attribute to have in your repertoire, if you will, as a musician, let alone just being a guitar player. So I encourage all of you to, you know, practice these things and keep them in your playing all the time. You know, don't just be a one-trick pony. Try to be a jack of all trades. Obviously, a lot of you on here watch me for kind of the shreddy stuff and the Yngwie stuff, and then, you know, but I also do like the jazz stuff and the blues stuff, right? And you want to be able to be versatile like that so you can get the gigs and really take any gig you want. Because after this gig I just played, actually, I had someone come up to me who's a drummer, a gospel drummer, asked me if I could play gospel music. Well, obviously I said yes, because gospel is really not much different than a lot of the stuff I was playing tonight, you know, just with kind of like the jazz ideas and the bluesy ideas and stuff like that. A lot of the chord progressions are very similar. So of course I said yes to the gig because I know that I could do it. And that's the kind of confidence that you want to build within yourself as a musician, to be able to just say yes to any gig that you'd like to take, you know. And that's kind of also, I feel like, the purpose of playing live is not only to, you know, meet people and get other gigs by showcasing, you know, your artistry, but also it's like a muscle that you have to exercise. I think to those that are just solely bedroom guitar players, I mean, that's fine, you know, if that's what you want to do and what you want to be. But I also think that it's important to exercise the muscle of performing live, because there's a lot of things that happened tonight as well that I actually was thinking about while I was performing, which was things like, you know, there's a couple spots where I was trying to come up with a new chord progression, like just on the fly. Like I had an idea and I was thinking of it, and then I'd play like maybe the wrong thing by accident, and I was actually thinking, like, you kind of don't have time to do this right now. Like, you should just do something that you're going to be more familiar with off the fly, instead of trying to like do some crazy voice leading ascending fifths thing and like try to like hear the melody through the chord. It's like, now is not the time, right? So like, that's a muscle that when you're performing live, you have to be pretty quick on your feet to either realize you need to like move past an idea, or you need to just go with something because you don't want to showcase that you're making a mistake right now, if that makes sense. So like, even with the looper pedal, I had a couple discrepancies happen tonight that I realized very quickly that I just needed to move on from, and just either change the progression or click it off entirely and play the progression myself. So with all that being said, yeah, I hope that you were able to kind of learn something from this video, and also see, you know, some different ways that you could get into playing live as a solo guitar player, and you know, just some different ideas for you know, your playing in general. So yeah, I hope this helped you a lot today, and I hope you enjoyed it, and thanks so much for watching. I really appreciate it, and I'll see you on the next one.